Alright, I'm now recording. Whoa, that was a big lag spike. But anyways, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Steven. You may know my other YouTube channel. Or you might not. I'm gonna link it, but you might know it. But essentially, this is a new YouTube channel I'm starting. By the title of the channel, you may be like wondering why I'm playing Minecraft. It's just something to have in the background, as opposed to me just having my webcam on and talking with you guys. But this is going to be my new channel. I'm not discontinuing my other channel. I'm still going to be uploading on the Steven744 channel. I'm still going to be doing my normal gaming content on there, maybe an occasional reaction video here and there on that channel. I do plan, that channel is probably going to be my primary channel. I don't know. Let's see what happens, but basically, this channel is going to be a channel, it's a Christian channel. It's going to be about Christianity. Now, I know at first when you hear the name Christian channel, even a Christian is going to be like, that sounds really cringe. I promise you guys it's not. What I'm meaning by this is, like, I'm not like trying to be like, oh, just super family friendly and like make stuff for like kids or whatever necessarily. This is gonna be a YouTube channel that's geared towards teens and young adults, probably more the young adult category, because I'm gonna be talking deep about Christian theology. This is gonna also include like different Christian denominations and their beliefs, but the primary focus is gonna be my beliefs. I am a Methodist. That is my Christian denomination. I follow a form of theology called Wesleyan Arminianism. That is the theology that Methodists follow. And also some of the holiness denominations follow it, or at least that they claim to follow it. Whether if they actually do or don't is up for debate. It's typically a debate between Methodists and holiness people. But there's also people that are actually Methodists, but they attend a holiness church because they can't find a good Methodist church in that area. But yeah, so the primary focus will be on Methodist Christianity because that is my denomination. You guys can see the title of my YouTube channel is The Catholic Methodist. Meaning behind that name, it's because Catholic means universal. Meaning like lowercase c Catholic. So capital C Catholic typically refers to Roman Catholic, as in like the branch of Christianity known as Roman Catholicism, and the church known as the Roman Catholic Church. But it's basically just a Catholic, though typically it technically means universal. That's its proper definition. It means universal. So a lot of the classical Protestant Christians wouldn't even refer to themselves as Protestant or the name of their denomination. They refer to themselves as Catholic or Reformed Catholic. Like Martin Luther did this too. Like Martin Luther, who started the Protestant Reformation and basically founded the Lutheran denomination and Lutheran form of theology. He is basically he still called himself Catholic because he was a monk in the Roman Catholic Church, but he was excommunicated from the church after doing his 95 Theses, because he saw problems in the church that he wanted to fix. But he wasn't trying to leave the Roman Catholic Church or have a schism in it. He was simply there to reform the church. He was there to reform the church. He saw issues with the church and he wanted to reform it. So he called himself Catholic. Now, John Calvin joined the Protestant Reformation as well. He also referred to himself as Catholic or Reformed Catholic. Really, being a classical Protestant is about being Reformed Catholic. We don't want there to be a schism. We don't want there to be this sort of division. We want to have unity together because all of us believers are brothers and sisters in Christ. So because of this, however, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, like I was saying. And sorry guys, if you see my gaming channel, you'll know how I talk. But if you're not familiar with my gaming channel and don't know how I talk, I can sometimes talk really fast and not, like, in my mind catch up with everything. And yeah, so that's just something to be aware of. But back to what I was saying, so we don't want schism with the Roman Catholic Church necessarily. We want to still be in communion with the Roman Catholic Church, and we would like to have unity because they are still our brothers and sisters in Christ. Anyone that has true faith in Jesus Christ is a Christian and is one of my brothers and sisters in Christ, and other Christians would agree with me on this. Now, there are some Christians that, for whatever reason, they think Roman Catholicism is a completely separate religion than Christianity. Therefore, they would say that Roman Catholics are not Christian. They are just Roman Catholic, or Catholic for short. That's what they would call them. But these people, pretty much by doing that, they also reject the idea, the word Catholic being universal. They're rejecting that. Now, Roman Catholics also believe Catholic means universal, but they don't believe it necessarily in the way that Protestants do. They really don't consider Protestants Catholic in any way, shape, or form. They believe that if a Protestant pretty much is Catholic, that means they're going to end up at some point converting to Roman Catholicism. But Roman Catholicism is just a branch in Christianity, just like how, I had to turn that down, sorry. I'm actually going to turn this down too. I really hope that you guys were able to hear me through all that. But yeah, they believe that they'll convert to Roman Catholicism. But Roman Catholicism is a different branch of Christianity. It is still a part of Christianity. It is still the same religion as Christianity. It is just a different branch. Just like how Protestantism is still Christianity. Protestants are still Christians. Even the evangelical non-denominationals will tell you, yes, Protestants are Christian. They do not reject this idea. And so when people say Roman Catholics aren't Christian, it's kind of silly because Protestants are Christian. People who are Protestant are Christian. It is a branch of Christianity. It has a bunch of denominations in it. The thing is, a lot of people don't really treat Roman Catholicism, or even like Eastern Orthodoxy, Oriental Orthodoxy, and Assyrian Church of the East as Christianity. They don't treat those churches as churches that are a part of Christianity. They put those people in as a separate religion. They're all separate religions, which is not true. They are not separate religion. It's all Christianity. They're just different branches. The quote-unquote apostolic churches, which would be the churches that claim to have apostolic succession, thus being the Roman Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Oriental Orthodox Church, and the Assyrian Church of the East. I don't know if I'm forgetting any in there. I think I got them all. I don't know. I got Assyrian Church of the East, which a lot of people forget even exists. So the fact that I think that I was able to get that and not just stop at Orthodoxy, I think it's at least somewhat of an accomplishment. But basically, these churches are still Christian. People that are a part of these churches are still Christian. However, they're different branches. So Protestantism is a branch of Christianity. It has denominations, so it's definitely the most diverse. I would call it the most diverse branch of Christianity because it's the one that has different denominations. it has different denominations in it. And some denominations are similar to each other. Some are very different than each other. But they do have a couple things that unite all of them together. And most Protestant denominations are also in communion with each other in the sense that they all can take Holy Communion together. The exception to this would be Lutherans. The Lutheran denomination is the only Protestant denomination that I personally know of where you actually in their belief you have to be a confirmed Lutheran to take Holy Communion with them. Like, you have to be a confirmed Lutheran in that denomination and confirmed in a Lutheran church to be able to take communion. But once again, that's the only Protestant denomination that I know of that's like that. Pretty much all the other ones can typically take communion together, and even then, there are other aspects about Lutheranism that still makes it Protestant and still allows for there to be some sort of unity between Lutherans and other Protestants. So it's not like they're not Protestant. In fact, they're probably part of they're one of the first Protestant denominations, because once again, Martin Luther, who pretty much founded Lutheranism, he was the leader of the Protestant Reformation. So because of this, we can safely say that Lutheranism is pretty much the original Protestant denomination, with the exception of Moravians. Moravians are more like proto-Protestant. Another way to put this is we have like different music genres, and so in our music genres we're like, okay, so this is metal, but this is proto-metal, where it's kind of metal, but it's not fully there. It's still got aspects about it that are just not metal at all. So therefore we cannot call it metal. It's proto, meaning it led to metal, and it came out before metal did, and but it's not truly metal. So same thing can be applied with Protestantism. The Moravians are basically proto-Protestants. Now, we could probably now consider modern-day Moravians, the three that exist, Protestants, but they were basically the proto-Protestants. They were not fully Protestant, but they were kind of getting there. Lutherans were probably the first actual Protestants. Now, that does not mean that their denomination is the correct denomination. There are other ones out there. Once again, I'm a Methodist. Therefore, I do reject a lot of parts of Lutheranism. There are parts of it, though, that I do like. There's also parts of Calvinism that I do like. A lot of people think that Calvinism is completely, for whatever reason, they think Calvinism is the exact opposite of Wesleyan Arminianism, or Wesleyan for short, which is a theology that Methodists use. Therefore, they think that Methodists and like any of the Calvinist denominations, like Presbyterian or Continental Reformed or Congregationalists, are just opposites of each other, which is not true. Methodists are very similar to the Calvinist denominations. They're very similar to them. Another name of Calvinism would also be Reformed. That's another term. That's actually the proper term to use. Calvinist is more of like a nickname for them. Reformed is the proper term to address them in. It's just easier a lot of times to say Calvinist, but Calvinist is not the end-all be-all term to describe them with. The proper term to describe them with would be Reformed. But Calvinists are, and basically Calvinists and Wesleyan Arminians, as well as classical Arminians, are all agree on mostly the same things, except for how salvation works. Now, There is also a difference between classical Arminians and Wesleyan Arminians. Classical Arminians came before Wesleyan Arminians. John Wesley, who founded the Wesleyan Arminian Theology and also founded the Methodist Church. Not officially, but like he started the Methodist movement within the Anglican Church, which then became its own denomination known today as Methodism. But technically he was an Anglican priest all the way up to his death. So he never officially schismed or was excommunicated from the Anglican Church. But Wesley was an Arminian. He followed the Arminian theology. That's what he was. He was an Arminian. He was not Reformed or Calvinist. He was Arminian. That was his form of theology. However, he even had some aspects about it that were different than what Jacob Arminius, who founded the Arminian theology, specifically which now today is classical Arminianism. That's what it's called now. He basically founded all that. He was a Calvinist, but he disagreed with Calvin's view of how salvation worked, and that's why his form of theology. So basically, he ended up getting his own form of theology named after him, which is basically Calvinism, but instead of this big predestination thing or whatever, it's more like it's more free will based when it comes to salvation. Wesley expanded on that. But Wesley also had other ideas like entire sanctification, which could literally be... These all, by the way, could be like 2-hour videos. I just want to point this out. These are all basically 2-hour video. Each major topic I just talked about could have its own 2-hour video on it. Now, I'm not going to do that. I always try to summarize. And this is meant to be an introductory video to my channel. I just go off in big tangents, and that's a good thing to note. Especially because this video, I've not given myself a specific topic to talk about. So, all these things I'm mentioning here could all be their own videos on this channel. And if you guys would like to see them, let me know in the comment section. Some of them I'm probably going to make without even reading comments or people knowing this channel even exists. Because this channel has no subscribers on it. It's a new channel. But, yeah, so... basically, Calvinists are very similar to Arminians and Wesleyan Arminians. They're very similar. They are. And Wesleyan Arminians and classical Arminians they pretty much almost exactly agree about how salvation works. It's just John Wesley takes it like a step further than Jacob Arminius did. But also Jacob Arminius didn't claim to not solve that much. Like, when he died, a lot of his theology was not fully worked out through, like how Reformed theology is worked out through, and so is Wesleyan Arminian theology. So a lot of his stuff was still left for questioning, which wasn't done on purpose. It's just simply Jacob Arminius died before he could figure out some more answers. John Calvin was able to come up with a lot of answers, which is interesting because he actually had a short life due to a lot of health problems. But he came up with a lot of answers. Now, his successor, Theodore Bezos, did expand on a lot of Calvin's teachings. But even then, Calvin would have most likely gotten to those. It's unknown if Jacob Arminius would have gotten to a lot of John Wesley's teachings. There are certain things that Wesley believed that he would never believe. Like, I don't think Arminius would have believed in entire sanctification, which some people call it Christian perfection. That's actually not the proper term, and it's a difficult thing to talk. It's a difficult subject because it's very it's kind of complicated. It's because there's misconceptions about it. People believe it means that you can get to a point where you no longer sin at all while you're still mortal. which is not the case. The case is like, it's you stop willfully sinning, so therefore you no longer have your will is now strong enough to where you will not sin willfully. However, you will still have unwillful sin, or sin that you don't know about. And so it's, and part of the idea of entire sanctification is you are loving Jesus Christ all the way, 100% fully, with your mind, body, soul, and spirit. You're 100% loving Jesus Christ all the way. Because we can all pretty much admit, or we should be able to admit, that while us Christians, specifically true Christians, do love Jesus Christ, we do. It doesn't mean that we love him with all of our hearts, mind, body, and spirit. We don't. If we did, we would not be willfully sinning. We just wouldn't be. And people that don't believe in a difference between willful sin and unwillful sin would say that we wouldn't be sinning at all. So, entire sanctification is where you've achieved that. Now, it's very, very rare for someone to become entirely sanctified, and if they do become entirely sanctified, they're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to know it. So if someone claims to be entirely sanctified, I say this as someone that affirms entire sanctification and is a confessional Methodist. I will tell you, if someone tells you they are entirely sanctified, and unless it's like on their deathbed, I wouldn't believe them. Like, because you're not supposed to know it. So I wouldn't believe them if they say that to you. Unless they're on their deathbed, I give more leeway to that, because they're about to die. So I mean, I would say at that point, like, it's definitely possible that they were, because they're on their deathbed, they're about to die, they know they're about to die, and they could have then came to that realization. The Lord would let them come to that realization because they're about to go meet the Lord in the kingdom of heaven. So, yeah. That's like one time that I could say you can basically know that you're entirely sanctified, but you're not really supposed to know it at all. And other Methodists would say this as well. But anyways, like I was saying, that's not the topic for this video, but you know, Calvinists and Arminians and Wesleyan Arminians, all very similar, and we all can kind of have this sort of peace with each other. A lot of modern-day Calvinists and Arminians don't understand anything about Calvinism or Arminianism. People think if you're not Calvinist, you're automatically Arminian, and that if you're not Arminian, then you're automatically Calvinist. These people obviously do not know that Lutheran theology exists, and Lutherans are like they kind of sound half Calvinist, half Arminian. So I mean, these people clearly don't know that exists. So it's weird. It makes no sense. Also, being Calvinist is not just believing in the 5 points of Calvinism. That's stupid. In fact, that wasn't even the main focus of John Calvin. That John Calvin focused on. That was just his most controversial topic. Other people made that much more vocal because it was considered very controversial. So since that was his more controversial take, that's why people talk about it so much. But in reality, that was not Calvin's main focus. His main focus was not double predestination. His main focus was not that. That was just one thing he believed in. And a bunch of idiots. I probably shouldn't call people that, but I don't really care right now. I probably shouldn't, but I mean, I don't know if I should or shouldn't, but I'm not doing it to insult them. I'm doing it to be truthful. Pretty much these people, a lot of these modern day Calvinists, they just think, yeah, just agree with 5 points of Calvin. That's all Calvin ever talked about. That's all he believed in. I'm now Calvinist. No, you're not. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. What are your views on the sacraments? What are your views on being Catholic, being Reformed Catholic? Do you even know about the term Reformed? Do you baptize babies? This is for all you Reformed Baptists out there. Do you baptize babies? No? Well, yeah, then you're not a Calvinist. I'm sorry. Dude, because Calvin was very much into infant baptism. Just like how, for example, if you say, yeah, I believe in a free will salvation, you're not Arminian, okay? You're not just Arminian right away. I'll ask some of the non-denominational. Do you baptize your babies? No? Then you're not Arminian. It's like, dude, stop. Ask Pentecostals the same thing. Do you baptize your babies? No? Then you're not Arminian. I don't care what you think Arminianism is. You're just incorrect. You're just incorrect. You guys don't know what any of these things actually are. So yeah, I probably made some people mad. I mean, please let me know in the comment section if I did. I look forward to reading all of those comments. But yeah, so these forms of theology all have things that are very specific about them, but some of these are pretty similar. Now, the goal for this channel, which I don't even know if I've done the best job expressing that in this video. I basically talked about like 3 parts of Calvinism, 2 parts of Catholicism, and like Roman Catholicism specifically. You know, the not universal Catholicism. And like, oh no. There we go. See, I killed the zombie. I did that like a pro gamer. Totally didn't almost die on hardcore mode. But I then talked like a little bit about Lutheran. See, I talked about a bunch of stuff. But anyways, this channel, the Catholic Methodist, is featuring me, the Catholic Methodist, and it's gonna be about theology relating to Christianity. We're gonna be talking a lot about Christianity. Big focus on Methodist theology / Wesleyan Arminianism. But we'll also dive into other things. We'll talk about Roman Catholics. We'll talk about Lutherans. We'll talk about the Eastern and Oriental Orthodox. We may even dive into a little bit that Assyrian Church of the East for all 3 Assyrians that exist. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. No, oh my goodness. This is not the best idea to play Minecraft in survival like this. Okay, it's basically... Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'm doing a great job, guys. I'm totally not getting distracted at all. But, please pray for me. Like I was saying, yeah, for the 3 Assyrians that exist, I'm joking. There are more Assyrians that exist, okay? It's actually a decently big branch of Christianity. It's just not big here in America. But we might even talk a little bit about that, or at least what I know about it. Yeah, key emphasis is going to be things that I know or research about these denominations, forms of theology, and, you know, branches of Christianity. It's going to be what I know. So big emphasis on what I know or what I research about it. So big emphasis on that. Now, this would also encourage me to do more research that I am more accurate. So, yeah. This will also be a good experience for me, because it'll get me to also research more about different forms of Christianity and different beliefs. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys do enjoy this channel. I encourage you all to subscribe to this channel. Let me know what kind of videos you might want me to make. Tell me what you would like to know about Methodism. I also should probably mention I'm newer to Methodism. I recently converted to being Methodist. I've been Methodist for... I think we're getting close to a month now. Not a long time, but now before that I was Christian. I was a non-denominational Christian. which also means I was evangelical. I am no longer a evangelical non-denominational Christian. I am now a Methodist Christian. And I am a part of Operation Reconquista, which is to retake the mainline Protestant churches that have been hijacked by theological liberalism. One of those churches being the United Methodist Church, which is the largest Methodist denomination in the United States, and I think it's also pretty large in the world in general. It's the oldest, most historic one that Methodist denomination that's still standing, outside of maybe whatever happened in Europe. But yeah, the goal is to restore it. So I am a part of that. So let me know what you also like to know about just Methodists in general, Christianity in general, what kind of videos you guys would like to see. But I hope everyone enjoyed this video and my Minecraft gameplay as well. Keep in mind that's probably going to be a big selling point. I'm going to be playing a lot of Minecraft. Some teenager is going to be like coming across is going to be looking up some Minecraft videos, going to find this thing on here and be like, and then just get baited into hearing about Christianity. Who knows? Maybe I'll evangelize them like this. You never know. I mean, I used to be evangelical, so you know, I mean, part of my evangelicalness could arise in this. You never know. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it. This will probably be the first video that you've seen by me, because this will be the first one I'm making on this channel. Please consider subscribing to this channel so you can, so we can talk about everything I just talked about. Anyways, I'll see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless everyone, and take care.